The sun is rising and the day has finally come. We were up at dark 30 to get the best spot on the ship for the Panama Canal. And this is our spot. Welcome back to another episode of Book at Janno, where we take you on our adventure, either from home or around the world. We started in Colón, Panama at 6:30 a.m. With the binoculars, you could see the toucans.
So we're now separating. There are the new locks, and here are the original locks. And we'll be heading that direction.
There's not a lot of wiggle room. We were fortunate enough to go through the original locks, which were opened in 1914. As we get closer, you can see the gates are starting to open. There is a ship in front of us, and the one to the left is being lowered back to the Atlantic. The dock workers giving us a friendly wave. They're throwing a rope to the ship so it can get the cables that will attach to this train. What you see here are electric trains, and they refer to them as mules. They have cables at the front and the back that hook up to the ship. And the purpose is to keep the ship centered in the lock. This lock is just over 1,000 feet long. The original locks cannot accommodate some of the newer ships.
Here we are entering the first lock. Actually, we're about to stop because we're 965 feet long, and we're at 950.
We saw workers crossing the gates, and they would stop and take pictures of the ship, or assuming it was the ship, and documenting what was going through the canals. And now we wait as the water fills the lock and raises us up to the next level. And as you can see, Gatun locks have 2 locks, so we'll be going into the next one. They're lowering the guardrails and starting to open the gates. Almost there, and we'll be on our way.
So this is the famous Gatun lock. And that's the lock house. Built over 110 years ago.
And we can see Gatun Lake. It took about 2 hours to go through Gatun locks. I'm pretty sure this is the town of Gamboa along the canal. Remember this bridge. It will come up again. Mike spent most of the day out here, and they provided snacks and drinks, which was really nice.
There's the Calibra cut. Look at that. And it goes way down.
An estimated 3/4 of the French engineers.
The Calibra Cut is the narrowest and most challenging part of the Panama Canal. It required immense and dangerous excavation to link Gatun Lake and the Pacific Ocean. 20,000 lives were lost building this canal. And the Calibra Cut is about 7.8 miles long. Mike read the book, The Path Between the Seas by David McCullough before we went through the canal, learning the history of the canal. And here's another method of getting the cables to attach to the mules. We're entering the Pedro Miguel locks. These locks take us from Gatun Lake to Miraflores Lake. We think this was a ship hauling cars. Not as many windows as on our ship, and I think they were just as interested in us. And even the small boats have to go through the locks. And here's a view from the back of the ship. And if you didn't want to be outside, you could sit at the lounge and watch the webcam. Now we're on to our last lock of the day.
And the tourist, watch the tourist here. And there are a lot of tourists over there. At the Miraflores Lock.
Watching them load the shipping cargo was pretty interesting. We can see the skyline of Panama City. The Bridge of the Americas connecting North and South America. It's now 5 o'clock in the evening and we have traveled 50 miles. It has been interesting and very enjoyable. We'll be at sea one more night before we dock at Panama City. We have arrived and we're just waiting for our turn to disembark. Panama City's skyline really rivals Miami's skyline. We would definitely recommend the Panama Canal cruise on Norwegian Cruise Lines. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Book It Janno, and stay tuned for our adventures in Panama City.